How's it going? In today's video, we're going to be going over the initial WordPress setup of your WordPress site that is self-hosted, that you downloaded from wordpress.org, or that you installed on a cPanel using Softaculous software. I'm going to jump straight into it here. No fluff, no guff. The first thing you're going to want to do is when you get the standard install is you're going to want to head down to Settings, to Permalinks. Your default setting is going to be the day and name. What we're going to want to do, and I'll show you why here in a second, is select post name instead and click and save changes. The reason why you want to do this is because naturally the default setting is the date and then the post name itself. What we want to do is we want to try to cut this out because most URLs on the web look a little bit more similar to this, where it's a simple URL of the post title of the page. So this is, by changing this setting right here, this is exactly what you're going to fix and make it a simple URL, simple post inside your blog post. Then the next thing that you're going to do, come back to dashboard, you're going to go down to plugins, add new plugin. You're going to search for Yoast. I already have it installed, but ideally when you start out, you will see this install now. Once you have it installed, the next click would be to activate it. So you're going to click activate. And now the Yoast SEO plugin is installed on all of your site if you have products, pages, or posts. If you come over here to, let's say, the standard default pages that WordPress actually inserts when you install it. They have a sample page and a privacy policy page. The sample page, when you click it, come down here, you'll see this new tab down here. It's called Yoast SEO, the SEO tab. And I'll kind of explain a little bit about what's going on here. The SEO tab is divided up into a couple different parts, as you've seen in my blog post. And if you have not seen it yet, there's a full detailed description with GIFs on there to follow it step by step. If you'd rather do that than this training video here. The first one is going to be the SEO title. This is the title, the meta description, meta title, meta description that the search engines like Google will pick up and index inside of their search engines. You also have a slug here. The slug is actually a copy from the permalink that you have set for the page. In this case, the title was sample page. It automatically, when I clicked off of it, it syndicated and it went to sample page in the permalink structure, which then got copied down to the URL slug. So if you wanted to change this, for instance, you could take this, back all this out because it'll just be in a default setting stage. Go to cars for sale online. That would be a keyword. About new cars.com. I'm just putting a filler in there. You might go cars for sale. Contact your dealer today. Lease specials, things like that. You might put in more keywords. There's an argument to be made that if you basically are a new site, you're a new brand, you might not want to try to put your brand name in there because it takes up space from the title that could have a keyword inside of it that can drive additional traffic inside your site, or to your site, I shall say. The meta description is, and they give you a nice little sample up here. The meta description is this description right here. This is the one that picks up the snippet on Google. Whatever you put in here, it does not really have a ranking factor, despite what other gurus out there will say. It really doesn't. What this is more for is conversion. So if I was to look at a meta description or an SEO title and it says cars for sale, I would look below in the description and see it elaborate a little bit more for me. So find new or used cars for sale in your area. And as you see, it updates it in this field right here for you, this demo field. And it tells you basically how much you can have left to type here and how much you have left to type here. Now, this is not exact. There's other methods of getting exact amount of characters counted in pixels per inch that it would take up inside the search engines. That's for another training video that I'm going to be doing in the future. But for right now, we're just going to stick with the simple stuff. The next feature that you're going to have is you're going to have the advanced feature. And in the advanced feature, you're going to have a couple different options here. On the default of it being installed, you'll have yes, you'll have allow the search engines to show the content in the search results. So this is if you want to get the page actually indexed inside the search engines and you want Google to pick it up. There's two options here. No means that you do not want this page indexed by Google. Yes means that you do. Yes is set for current default. If you click no, it won't be indexed. This is really good for like if you're still working on a post or a page, or let's say a product description. You don't want to index and traffic trying to come to it initially until you're finished with it. You can click no for the time being, and then come back when the time is right, when you do want to get it indexed. Of course, Google crawls the sites how they do, and they index how they do, whichever way that their crawler decides that it is good for the search engines. So click yes. The next one should be, should the search engines follow the links on the content? So this is if you have links in the content and you want the search engines to follow those links back to those websites, you can click no, or you can click yes. This could help with indexing though if you have an authoritative link. Let's say like you're building this for a car site, and this was your home page, and you wanted to make sure that Toyota.com was mentioned, or an inner page on Toyota.com, or let's say Chevy or GM, Dodge, Ram, something like that. You wanted those links to be followed back to those sites. Google might see that as an authoritative link and say, okay, well, we got to index this content because it's all in relation, right? So there's those two options right there. The third option is the meta robots. The meta robots is basically three different things here. You have no image index. The no image index option prevents the search engines from indexing the images on the page itself. And then the second option you have is the no archive. The no archive option prevents the search engines from storing a cached version of the web page. And the no snippet is basically this is the option prevents search engines from cached versions of the page, but it will also prevent the description from appearing below the headline in the search results. So those are the three options there. I typically just leave this blank because I want everything on the page to be indexed, because I know the crawler is going to come and it's going to look through my site and it's going to index based on that. The next one is the breadcrumb title. If you have this enabled on SEO Yoast, which it does come enabled on default, you can customize the length of the post of the page title in the breadcrumb field. So for instance, if you had a very long title, let's say this was Hello World, glad to be here, this is a new car site, that's what would show up here. Inside of the canonical tag, you can structure it to where it's cut down from that version by a word, 2, 3 words, whatever it might be, and to make it shorter. Again, this is something that I don't typically use. Breadcrumbs is like basically your home, your category page, and your very long title. So a category page could be cars, trucks, SUVs, and then the page title could be Hello World, we're a new car dealership located in Los Angeles, California. So these settings, I typically, like I said, leave blank myself. I built thousands of websites and test networks and worked on hundreds and hundreds of clients that had revenue positive results from our work. And this is one of the things that on a WordPress website, not like any other platform, that I would utilize in this way. The next thing is your social tab. Your social tab is basically, and I'll show you an image of how this comes out here in a second, but this is basically when you take and copy the URL and you share it to like Facebook or LinkedIn, or let's say, another platform. They'll pop up a thumbnail with the title and the description. So you have three parts here, and I'll explain this here in a second. But the title will override the title inside of the Yoast SEO plugin for the social media specifically. So you can get more creative. You can put like emojis and stuff on there. That kind of stuff is more accepted on social networks. And then the social description. And then you also have a separate box here where you can do the identical same thing. And this will actually syndicate over to Twitter or now X platform, because Twitter is a little bit different the way that it operates from like the Facebooks and the LinkedIn's and so on, syndicating content. What this basically looks like is you have the three parts. You have the image, you have the SEO title, and the social title, the social description. You could also just put a featured image here on the right-hand side if you don't want to go through and actually fill this out or utilize this, just depending on how you want to build the SEO information on the page. The SEO tab will be picked up with the featured image on platforms like Facebook. So how this looks is this is a post that I had created on my own Facebook page. Basically, this is the image right here. That's the thumbnail image that I uploaded here. If I were to put it in featured images, it would still show up. And then you have the title and then the description. And then naturally, Facebook will give you the URL right there. It'll show it. This is all a thumbnail. So above this line, you can go ahead and you can delete the URL. This is kind of blocked out right now, but you can delete this URL and then type something in, and all this information will go on your post, which makes it really nice and snazzy and good looking. So that's about it for the Yoast SEO for this side of things. I will have another training video on the sitemaps for Yoast and how to do proper on-page with it. That'll be a separate video. I want to show you one last thing before I get out of here, and I probably should have done this the very first thing. What you're going to want to do is click my blog at the top, go to the right, one tab, go to Customize. If you're using the Gutenberg builder, it'll say Edit instead of Customize. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to the homepage settings. By default, when you first install WordPress, it'll be at your latest post. This is basically all the posts that you put inside your post side of things for your blog. It syndicates to the homepage. You might want to build a sexier looking homepage, something that details to your demographics and your social graphics of your products and your services and how they can help facilitate solving a problem or a need for the supposed visitor or consumer that is coming to the site for either products or your information. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to unselect this. You're going to want to go from here to a static page, and naturally it'll be set like this. Obviously, you see it's still all here. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and select what would be your homepage setting, better URLs. You click publish, and then you're good. That really does it for this training video for your initial WordPress setup to optimize for indexing inside the search engines. I will have more videos coming out of how to do multiple different things inside of WordPress. Obviously, the processes for like HTML, if you look at any of the other platforms like Shopify, any type of, other CMSs out there, they all have different processes. Yoast SEO plugin actually works with like 4 or 5 different ones. So Yoast SEO plugin will operate a little bit differently with the information within that. It's not overly important, but I just wanted to mention it. This is specifically for WordPress itself. I hope that everybody that watches this video has learned the basics of the initial WordPress setup, utilizing your self-hosted WordPress .org download, or if you have it installed through Softaculous in cPanel as a content management system. I really loved making this video. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Thank you.